Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to talk about the stock to watch with earnings season here. This could be one that has some room left to the upside. We're going to check out and check in on our Nokia trade, see how that's going. And also, we're going to look at the potential double top on the SPY there and see what that could mean overall for the stock market. And of course, before we do all of that and a whole bunch more, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people. And of course, if you can flood the comment section before the spam bots do, that would be much appreciated and does help support the channel. And if you're new, smash that subscribe button. Welcome to the channel and hit that bell notification and you'll get the daily updates there. So let's jump over to straight into the news, really, is we're going to go first and then we're going to go into the charts there. And so as we can see, we're going to jump in here. The stock to watch here is Mike Investing says if you miss Palantir or Hood, and of course I gave both of those entries way back in April. Miss out on SoFi with an EPS of 700%, 2.7 billion in cash, and 44% year-over-year revenue growth. SoFi is an easy buy. Earnings are next week, October 28th, by the way, and can pop 20 to 30% higher, $40 and coming by December. Mark my words. Well, we'll have a look at that post and we'll look back on that and see how that plays out. There's some other interesting developments with SoFi, of course, in the crypto space there. Only in the SoFi app can you bank, borrow, invest, and now trade crypto all in one place. We're here for the long run, giving our massive. One of the things that I did actually predict when I did that. So let's have a look at the charts and look at some possible trades. First of all, the SoFi price, and then we're going to look at the ETF also there. Market, it's moving up there. It's currently at 28.47 in the pre-market. What I'm looking for here, this key level here at 28.64. Okay, it's been a level that we broke through first time, no problem, but immediately sold off and then had trouble getting through. And what do you know that I have talked about on this channel so many times before about how a stock or a crypto, when it hits these levels, this is sellers that are selling, and the more times it gets tested, the weaker this level gets. And so the move to the upside can be quite explosive. So I would expect the entry there at $28.64 would be a nice break and hold above this level. And then we're looking at that $30 level. There is a Fibonacci there at $30.89 and another Fibonacci there at 32. So those would be my immediate targets to the upside. And that would also be my immediate targets to the upside also here for a technical target to $32.28. Now, if we were to reject here, or if we were to break above, have a fake out, and it would have come back below that 28.64, then that's just time to get out of and jump out of that trade there for SoFi. So that's the SoFi. I do want to also look at, I know, as you know, many of you know, I love trading these 2x leverage ETFs, and we have a similar situation here. SOFX, you get 2x. If SoFi goes up 10%, you'll make 20% with the SOFX ticker there. And same thing, 43.29. That could be an early entry. And we're pretty close to it at the moment. It's at 42.84. But the key level to break here, as you can see, is 44.70. If that does break, the technical target up there is into the 50s, 50 to 50 to get filled there. So move up to that 49 to 52 level there for SOFX. But we do need to break this $44.70 level. So you can front run this trade at 43.29. The same with SoFi. If we were to get above this level and hold, there could be an entry there. You could also wait or add to the trade at 44.70. But if we were to lose this 43.29, then it would be time to get out of the trade, because you can see what happens anytime we have a rejection there. It comes down and hits the 52 moving average where it holds. and then it goes up. And look, the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all. There you go. It fires off. You get in there at about 36, jumps up. You get the red triangle there, but more so you get the rejection there. I wouldn't even wait for the red triangle there, and it just rejects there and you get out of the trade. Then rinse, repeat back to the 50-day moving average, back up to that 44.70, back to the 50-day moving average, and I think we're heading back to that 44.70 there. And again, if we do have a rejection there, you can either close that trade or you can wait to see whether this 43.29 holds that level there. But I do believe, like you see here, through and then bust through. Remember, October 28th, and they have had a solid history of earnings to find that again. So that's the trade SoFi, or you can trade SOFX. They're the 2x leverage ETF. You've got a couple of options there. And I look for there is a little W double bottom there, W bottom, I should say. The right side of the W and the left, the left side of the W is a little bit higher there. And that's, we've got those technical targets the upside. So this is looking very bullish and it's looking primed to pop. Of course, we've got CPI data coming today. And so we might see that spoil the party if it comes in super hot. We also have the FOMC coming on October 29th, the day after earnings there. And of course, we have the tariff decision on November the 1st. So there could be some incoming volatility. Have your stop losses set. Just remember that if we come up and we could do something like this there, where we come up and just push straight back down based off some bad CPI data, or what happens with the FOMC, or even if the earnings don't come out as expected, make sure you have a trade plan, a trade strategy. It's not just to get into a trade, but also to make sure you protect the trade with stop losses there, and of course going into profit to move that stop losses up to at least break even as soon as you get into profit, and then as it continues up, moving that stop loss up with the trade. Let's have a quick look at the Nokia trade, or the Nokia trade, however you like to pronounce it. Tomato. There, as you can see, we in the pre-market, they're showing a little bit of life here. Now remember, I gave this trade all the way back on October the 14th. Where are we? October the 14th. There it is there. You could have front run this trade. I gave the break and hold there at $5.50. So those people who got in at $5.50, look what happened after. And so many times on this channel, you see when I give a level and it breaks the level, what happens? Boom, off it goes. And this is why the tribal trades levels, one level to rule them all. I give these accurate places. Why was this level so important? Because I showed you it's a cup, an enormous cup and handle on the weekly time frame. There's the cup. There is the handle. And as soon as we broke that level, it was always going to take off like a rocket ship. And it's done that at the moment. Now, I have technical targets, $8 and $10 there. There's great volume here. It had really solid and strong earnings yesterday. And so this trade here, if you miss this trade and you're thinking, how can I jump in if this does go to 8 or 10 or more? What I'm looking at for here is $6.08. We just want to keep a nice hold of that level, $6.08. In fact, the 9 EMA on the 1 hour is sitting at about $6. Let's just zoom in there. Yeah, $6.11. So that could be a potential entry here. There is a nice bull flaggy kind of pattern here, and that would take us up to $6.38. All right. Now I'm in two Robinhood Pet active. I'm kind of front running this trade as long as, and what would I get out of this trade on a loss of $6.08? But really, you could be a little less aggressive if you wanted to. There's the 20 EMA there on the 1 hour time frame. That's sitting at about $6.03 and rising. So that also could be a place for a stop loss. So somewhere between $6.11 and $6.08. If those levels are to hold, there can be an entry there with a stop out at $6.03. And of course, hopefully you actually got it at $5.50 or a little bit before when I originally gave this trade. Now I want to take one little look at the SPY here. And what we can see, what was the big warning that I gave yesterday and the day before, was we needed, now we don't have First and foremost, I said we needed to break 674. We're right at it at the moment. We've just touched it and rejected. That's not great, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But first and foremost, there is no there is no inverse. There is no head and shoulders. There was a left shoulder, a head. That right shoulder is gone now because we have now touched up the top here. So there's the left shoulder. There's the head. This could have been a right shoulder. But nope, we're not going to get that right shoulder. So there's going to be absolutely no head and shoulders pattern. But we do now have a double top, and that's not great. However, it is just in the pre-market. The market hasn't opened. And so we can eviscerate this potential double top by getting above 674. If we get above 674, the double top is over. It's invalidated, and we don't need to worry about that. And then we can go back at looking that original target that I've given everybody. We're just going to have the inverse head and shoulders target here up to about 720, although I'd be keeping a close eye. You can see there's 3 Fibonacci levels here at 694, 697, 696, and that could be an area there of huge resistance there, as will 689, 690. But we're on our way. That inverse head and shoulders pattern that I gave back in June here, and I told everybody it clear as day, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Off we went to the races. You can see that line has been in there. I've shared this chart many times there, and that our technical target is 720, and we're on our way to that. However, we might get interrupted or stopped if we do not break above 674. Absolutely crucial level to get above there to make sure that we do not have any kind of a double top there on the SPY. So we're keeping our eyes on the SPY. I spy with my little eye. Days ago, that's going very nicely there. Joining the private trading community, the Tribal Trades Discord, one Discord to rule them all. You can still get on the wait list. You can't sign up and get direct access, but you can get on the wait list, and there are some to getting on the wait list today or as soon as possible if you are thinking about joining. And I just love the win section. Look, we've got Satoshi Nakamoto. If you're wondering where he was hiding out, he's hiding out in the Tribal Trades Discord there, and posted a nice win there of $2,000. Hopefully they are K per day challenge. And this is what the Tribal Trades Discord is all about: joining a revolution for wealth transformation. And the 1K per day challenge is what it's all about. And you might ask, well, what is the 1K per day challenge? What is that all about? I'm so glad that you asked. That's all about helping anybody who wants to participate in the 1K per day challenge get to $1,000 per day. That's $20,000 per month if you're trading stocks, and $30,000 per month if you're trading stocks and crypto. And we have members of the Discord who have undertaken that challenge, started with not making anything, and then they were making 200 to 300, and now making $1,000 or $2,000 a day, who weren't making that money. And we've shared their stories. You come into the Discord, hear their stories, hear how they did it. And of course, you can also be part of that, but we don't wait list. Why is it important to get on the wait list sooner rather than later? Because number one, the price of the Discord is going to increase. It's going up, up, up. And when next time we do open the Discord. And so to make sure that you get grandfathered in at the current price that we have right now, and where do you find that price or details? Below in the link, there is a link below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button below and it will pop out, and then you click on that top link, and that's the current price, and you can be grandfathered in at that current rate until January, at least January 2028, which is whopping over 2 years there that you would be grandfathered in at that rate. Otherwise, when the Discord does reopen, it will be at a higher rate. And then secondly, the advantage of getting on the wait list early is you're higher up on the wait list. All right. So the sooner you will get access to the Tribal Trades Discord. So that's the second benefit there. Now, when you join the wait list and you click there, you are going to be asked for your payment details. That's just to reserve your spot and you reserve your place in the queue in the wait list. You would not be charged whatsoever until you get moved from the wait list to the main part, the main area of the Tribal Trades Discord. All right. So it's payment details there. There is no lock-in whatsoever. Once you join the Tribal Trades Discord, I call the Tribal Trades family, there's no lock-in whatsoever. If or for some reason you're not able to make use of it, you don't have the time, that's okay. We wish you all the best. However, I just know that once you join the Tribal Trades Discord and you see all the wonderful life transformational stories that are occurring within the Discord, that you're just not going to want to leave. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. So until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.